The co-main event of UFC 307 was a women's bantamweight title fight between Raquel Pennington and Juliana Pena. It was one of the most boring fights in recent memory. At some point, it was so poor that the crowd almost fell asleep. Both fighters lacked intensity and intent to finish the fight. Ever since the fight got announced, there was concern about the co-main event. When Amanda Nunes retired, that whole division seemed dead anyway. There is no exciting fights out there. Raquel Pennington won the vacant title. Her record was 15 wins and 10 losses going into this fight. It's hard to imagine that an UFC champion with a win-loss record like that. Pennington was never someone who could hang around with the big dogs. She's average at best. Her opponent Juliana Pena had a record of 10 wins and 5 losses going into the fight. So both records are kind of identical. They are essentially mid-card fighters who suddenly found themselves in the co-main event due to lack of names in the women's division. Juliana Pena hadn't fought in almost 2 years since she lost to Amanda Nunes. She was supposed to fight Nunes in a trilogy, but then Amanda retired. The last fight between the pair of them was so one-sided that there was no need for a trilogy really. So once again, we have another fighter basically losing and sitting on the stool for almost 2 years and then walking into a title match. Some of the matchmaking in the UFC of late has been simply atrocious, and the fight went very much like the caliber of the fighters. Raquel Pennington was one who landed the clear, crisper shots. She even dropped Juliana and looked like the only one who was pressing the action. Juliana Pena in a comeback fight looked awful. She was flat footed, lacked any kind of urgency whatsoever, got pushed back almost throughout the fight. She secured 2 takedowns, which basically helped her win the 2 rounds, but could not do anything with those takedowns. And Raquel Pennington, for the most part, had no takedown defense. Even then, Pena could not do much on the ground with her. On the feet, Raquel was lighting her up. Even in the fifth round, she was the one who was pressing the action, landing the cleaner shots. Juliana looked so bad at times that it was shocking to see her fight for a title. Pennington, with her boxing, was buzzing Pena for the entire fifth round. It was a close fight, but Raquel, being the champ, should have got her hands raised. Juliana Pena never had any spectacular moment in the 5 round championship fight. Yet, somehow, the judges managed to score it for her. It was a split decision win for Pena. The UFC judging of late has been very poor. It's becoming identical to boxing. Some of the decisions that happened during the course of the entire night were controversial and, to be fair, extremely faulty. Pena was perhaps the least deserving UFC champion in memory. Given how she looked, it's only a matter of time before she loses the belt. Kayla Harrison would have a field day with her. When asked about it, if she wanted to fight Kayla, she dodged the question completely and called out a retired Amanda Nunes for a third fight. It was cringeworthy from Pena to call out Nunes after a performance like that. It was a horrendous performance in a title fight. Earlier in the night, Kayla Harrison won her bout against Caitlin Vera. It wasn't the most impressive performance from her either. Her lip got busted, she got a taste of her own blood, but still managed to win all 3 rounds. As soon as the fight hit the ground, her opponent had no chance. She's so much stronger and physical than the rest of the girls in that division. If Juliana Pena faces her next, Kayla Harrison would pick her apart limb by limb. Penny isn't a good striker and relies on her grappling to get her through fights. That won't work against Kayla. On the feet, she isn't skilled enough to cause Kayla Harrison any problems. On the other hand, Harrison will have no problems taking her down and causing serious damage on the ground. And Kayla is too strong and too big for Pena to take down. So the bantamweight title picture is wide open. There is no clear competitor who can run the division like Nunes did. Can Kayla Harrison be that girl who continues where Amanda Nunes left off? Will Juliana Pena be able to continue her title reign? Or will she be a victim to Harrison's grappling and domination? Let me know in the comment section what you feel. And if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel.